Here at Tangent 1985, we watch everything, and because we watch everything, we try to review everything. But as there are only so many hours in the day, we can't every time give every movie the lengthy analysis they deserve. My name is M. Glenn Gore, and this is one of those times. Hold on tight because here comes In and Out like Glenn, and today we're talking about UNSANE. The following video review contains spoilers for the film UNSANE. Proceed with caution. Steven Soderbergh is easily one of my favorite filmmakers, and his movies have always been appointment viewing. So when I learned he was dipping his directorial toe into the well-fared waters of the innocent person gets committed to an insane asylum who isn't crazy but everyone thinks they are so they can't prove they're sane because the only people with the power to release them don't believe it, genre, I was understandably elated. It's a B-movie premise at best, but his proven track record for elevating seemingly innocuous fare to Oscar-level heights left me no cause to doubt he'd do much the same here. And for the most part, he delivers. Claire Foy of the well-reviewed Netflix series The Crown stars as Sawyer Valentini, a dutiful yet haunted young woman new to both the city and a promising job rife with opportunity. However, when Sawyer suffers a sudden panic attack during a one-night stand, we learn she has all but picked up her entire life and moved nearly across country in an attempt to escape a stalker guilty of menacing her for years. Despite being several states away, Sawyer still sees his face everywhere she goes and when she least expects it. These delusions lead her to speak to a counselor, who then uses Sawyer's admittance of suicidal tendencies as grounds to have her committed for psychiatric evaluation against her will. Her initial 24-hour stay balloons to a nightmarish 7 days when she runs afoul of an unbalanced patient named Violet, played aggravatingly well by Juno Temple. And we soon realize the hospital is running an amoral and unethical scam, committing and holding innocent patients under false medical pretenses until their insurance companies cease payment on their treatment. The already bleak matter takes a sharp detour for the worse when Sawyer discovers her stalker David, played a little too convincingly for comfort by the Blair Witch Project's Joshua Leonard, has not only pursued her here, but has also taken a job as an orderly in the hospital to feed his terrifying obsession as well as continue the physical and psychological torment of her in a scenario where he holds all the cards. What comes of this morbid development is a tense and frustrating back and forth in which Sawyer is pushed to frightening lengths to escape, and the depth of David's sadistic infatuation with her unfolds in increasingly disturbing displays and abuses of his power. While there hasn't been a terrible lot of publicity surrounding this film, the one piece of trivia that hasn't escaped the promotion circuit is that Steven Soderbergh shot the entirety of UNSANE on an iPhone 7 Plus, even going so far as to make the rather erroneous proclamation that it is the future of filmmaking. Soderbergh is gifted without doubt, and while the conscious decision to avail himself of such a limited technological canvas does lend the movie an unsettling, voyeuristic quality atop a palpable sense of claustrophobia, you honestly find yourself longing to be as free of David at the hospital as Sawyer does. I'm here to tell you this is in no way, shape, or form film's fate. While arguably ambitious, the substantial limitations of the iPhone are evident and apparent, and be they intentional or not, give the movie the amateurish veneer of a very well-executed student film. And while the for-profit private hospital healthcare insurance scam may be the metaphorical bones upon which UNSANE chooses to drape its narrative flesh, an inspired cameo by Soderbergh filmography alum and frequent favorite Matt Damon emerges as its standout thematic scene. His Detective Ferguson delves into painstaking detail as he chronicles a mere handful of the preventative measures women who find themselves victims of stalking must often take in response to such complete and colossal invasions of their lives and selves. It is daunting, overwhelming, and makes you angry for her if you weren't already. There isn't an aspect of Sawyer's life that isn't turned upside down as a result of David's sickening pursuit of her, bringing the severity of his crimes into stark relief. Even when the stalking itself is over, the trauma never ends, merely becoming a terrible new facet of the victim's day-to-day life. Leonard and Temple give admirable performances, and while Foy is strong in the role, some of her actions and reactions in such a dire situation become difficult to believe. While Soderbergh is mostly successful in raising the B-movie premise and film school aesthetic beyond pastiche and into legitimate thriller territory, it does at times come off as feeling oddly disingenuous when you take into account the massive resources at his disposal, to the point where you're never quite free of the nagging feeling this was all just too good an opportunity to cash a quick paycheck to turn down. If this were a student film, I'd give it 4 stars easy, but I have to give it 3 for being a film from someone who has time and again proven himself capable of more and greater. That's it for today's episode. As always, thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed the show, please like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter for more updates. Until next time, you were just in and out like Glenn.